I think you take a step back to understand more about the sector. Now, property technology is a very new term. And then we always use an analogy. Imagine 8-9 years ago, fintech. And back then, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking that fintech, what are you talking about? Like, why would you need a fintech?
Yeah.
And now everyone in Hong Kong is like, hey, yeah, obviously you need to be a fintech. Now, property tech is very similar. 2-3 years ago, a lot of real estate companies don't take it seriously because they're making a lot of money, right? Like, like a building, they probably make a lot more revenue than your whole business yourself. Now, a lot of real estate companies say, hey, why can't I just build myself? And why do you need a startup, like from outside my company to do it? So that's the hardest thing.
Welcome to Hu 最有Say Podcast channel today, and I'm very glad to have Darren Wong, the CEO of the local PropTech startup, to have an interview with me to share his venture and also his success in starting up his business and how he looks at his venture in Hong Kong and Asia Pacific. Darren, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
If anything, it's an honor to be here.
Okay, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren, can you tell us a few words about yourself and your background and yeah?
Sure. So my name is Darren, and then I'm the CEO and co-founder for Density. Density, we provide a platform, a search and media platform for home buyers to look for overseas investment. What we do differently is that not only does our technology allow more different people to publish their content a lot easier, we make a better experience for any home buyers to understand that from point 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, how to making sure that they understand exactly what they want. Then we guide people towards property listings or campaign webinar to learn further.
So it's very personalized, right?
Yeah, exactly. So It's a very global business, but very personalized experience.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. As we all know that there are similar platforms in the market. Now, how does the Density differentiate from others, and what are your competitive advantages?
Because a lot of platform usually is when we go to any platform. So in Hong Kong, very, very good platform called Spacious and 28 House. And other places like, for example, AustraliaDomain.com, in US, Zillow.com, Rightmove in UK, there are thousands and thousands of platforms out there. However, when it comes to people in Hong Kong looking for overseas, they neglect something. It's the social content. So the biggest differentiation between us, our platform, is the ideology, understanding that John is unique, Darren is unique. I do not want to know 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom anymore. I want to know exactly if I'm a farm, in Chinese we call it 隔山買樓, where you should go, what you should do. And for example, John, you're a guy with taste. You're not going to go to somewhere that run down everything. And for myself, I mean something that is very hip, city life and so on like that. So that means a lot of times these platforms do not tell you enough about what is meant for you and get you the experience to understand exactly what's for you. And our platform use social content to crowdsource the content from a lot of different partners, from immigration officer like yourself, from tax consultant, mortgage providers, and many different more, obviously real estate companies too, that lets you to understand more about what is meant for you, what is not meant for you. So social content is the biggest thing. Number two, another thing that's important is that when it comes down to supply side, that means real estate companies, it's very hard to know what are good, what is not good. A lot of people never ask the question is that, hey, can I trust this developer? Can I trust this real estate agent? And to us, there's a really good practice that we have. Like for yourself, you believe in trust. Same as us. But a lot of platforms don't want to do that. They think about having a billboard. But for us, the Gen Z era or millennials, we care about, what is the references? What is the people you can try to work together? What is the portfolio you have done before? And a lot of platforms neglect that. And lastly, is that most important thing actually is that there's a lot of things that people don't realize that these platforms have always used social media platform to generate leads. Now, for example, right, when you go on Facebook and Instagram, you saw a lot of these content from real estate companies to tell you what's a good deal, what's not a good deal. And they would try to get you from social media platform to their own platform. And for us, when we're merging together, not only to have a better experience, and most important thing is that the content can be exciting. Real estate is not about 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, there's a balcony, no balcony. It's about growth, wealth, retirement, safety, belonging. There's more than that. And our content creation with our community together make things so much more exciting That's not going to lie. I think that it's exciting that we can push the boundary of what it takes to make people understand real estate a lot easier, fun, and exciting.
So, to summarize, it's all about customer experience, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So it's the same as our industry. I mean, we try to kind of, creating good experience with my clients so that they build more trust with us. You just mentioned that you have operated the density for 2.5 years. So what kind of problems that you have encountered so far?
I think it takes a step back to understand more about the sector. Now, property technology is a very new term. And then we always use an analogy. Imagine 8-9 years ago, fintech. And back then, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking that fintech, what are you talking about? Like, why would you need a fintech?
Yeah.
And now everyone in Hong Kong is like, hey, yeah, obviously you need to be a fintech. Now, property tech is very similar. 2-3 years ago, a lot of real estate companies don't take it seriously because they're making a lot of money, right? Like a building, they probably make a lot more revenue than your whole business yourself. Now, a lot of real estate companies say, hey, why can't I just build myself? And why do you need a startup like from outside my company to do it? So that's the hardest thing. So there are 3 things I found is really, really hard. One, not only did you have to explain prop tech, find the right people to be your clients is very, very hard. The BD cycle tends to be very long. Number 2, feedback loop. Any startup, what they need to do is to have a handful of clients to making sure that they can learn what is the operation, the solution, pain points to really build the product. But because the BD cycle of a prop tech solution, a startup, is tend to be longer, then they need to be taking their time, be patient about it, to realize that after 6 months, 9 months to 1 year to get a client, a few clients, then the feedback loop take a half a year, 1 year as well. Not many startups can sustain that long. Third is that we're lucky that we're in Hong Kong and capital seems abundant. But when it comes to younger startups, small startups, not many people have the experience and the appetite for that. And I think a lot of people being in Hong Kong, they're all corporate trained or ex-bankers. They have this traditional business mindset that, maybe like restaurant, manufacturing, and so on like that. And they don't have experience in startups. So not only did I tell you, John, today, what is prop tech, a platform that tends to be very competitive, but it's very unique, I think. The most important thing is that why would you invest in a prop tech startup when there's so many investments out there? And the only thing that's different now is that not only COVID allow a lot of real estate companies or people in the real estate company understand more about why they need solutions. The government, the ecosystem around the world, realizing that they need to do a lot more to ensure Hong Kong become more unique and making sure they can compete with other cities in China, be competitive. And I think that is a beautiful thing right now. It's a really good time. And we're just talking about initially the beginning of property tech startups to be more successful, be more meaningful, impact startups and other ecosystem out there.
Okay, Darren, you have given us more information about your landscape, your company. So how do you see the future of density in the next 2 years?
For density, we are a community that building for a lot of Asian investors for finding about what real estate information. Our goal right now is that within 1 year time, we want to become the real estate platform for people looking for real estate. And we want that to have more partners, clients to come on board to help the ecosystem become bigger. But down to it, is that real estate is a very big investment for a lot of people. It's about their retirement, education, prolong their wealth. There's a lot of hopes and dreams here. And I think that because the market has become more buy-side driven, that means that they care more about letting the investors know more about information, tilting towards that way. So if anything, is that I urge a lot of real estate professionals to look into what we're doing, be part of it. And our job is just simply to match people more. And then we welcome anyone to come on board as partners, a content creator like yourself. And thanks a lot for joining in. Real estate companies that want to contribute and home buyers that want to understand what's good information. So if anything, that's about it. It's really about allowing us to become the de facto place to learn about real estate information.
As you mentioned that not just the Hong Kong market, global market is more demand driven, and the property developers or the agents has to listen more and entertain more about the personal requirements of the buyers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Darren, for the time interviewing with me today, and thank you very much so that our audience can know more about density. It's an exciting venture, and for those who are listening to us and want to buy some overseas property for investment, So you can visit the Darren's website, Density, and hope that you can find the dream home. So I wish to see you again in the Hu最有Say next time then.
Thank you so much, and it's my absolute pleasure to be here.
Okay, my pleasure.